Okay, I begin. First take. It's my first video, so it might not be as professional as some of other videos out there, but I was a gambling addict for more than 15 years. How did I quit? A bit of background. I watched several videos, by the way, of this topic at YouTube, but they don't really explain in details what to do to actually quit. I'm sure all of them have some value, but I will explain how I quit myself with the minimum of help, no treatment apart from support from my own family. The rest I did myself. What exact steps are needed to take to quit gambling? I cannot find videos there. Unfortunately, none of the videos, at least I have found, has been good enough. Okay, I'll start with some background. Well, since I was extremely addicted to gambling, I thought I would share my thoughts with people out there which are in the same situation. I'm a quite private person myself who don't like to be exposed, a rather shy person. That's why I won't expose myself in any of my videos. Not now, at least. Probably never. Well, let's have a bit of a background story. I started gambling when I actually had a bright future in front of me. I was in the middle of my 20s. I just had gotten an opportunity to create a transport company. I got a contract which secured me about €5,000 a month minus taxes. I had a good relationship with the vendor which promised me several new opportunities, and the company I just created could grow. I was ready to create and expand my company, just hired a person to support me, and basically everything was great in my life. I looked forward to earn 6, 7, maybe €10,000 a month. Everything looked fantastic for me. Then one evening, I had a couple of hours to spare. I was surfing the internet and I saw an ad related to a poker site. All this was way back in 2004 when it was like a poker boom going on. I thought, well, I'm bored. Let's just play for a couple of euros for fun and for entertainment. I started with a minimum amount of $10, minimum stakes of 10 cents. But within 2 months, I was playing $10 to $30 a bet, which is very high in poker if you are into it. I lost probably about €20,000 in that year. Not only because I was a rookie poker player, but because I couldn't keep to normal playing hours. Basically I couldn't stop. So what happened is that I worked and played almost 24/7. After 1 year, I was a complete wreck. Only a shadow of the happy young guy who started his own company and looked forward to a great future. I was completely broken. I lost the contract and remember contractor's comments to me to this day. He said, "What's wrong with you? I gave you a golden opportunity and all I hear is the customers complaining. You have lost your contract." And I actually told him that it was a bit unfair. At least he could give me a chance to correct the situation. But he said, "We had plenty of chances. The customer have complained to you as well. You know this." you know that the job you have done is way below the standard we expect. That was that, with that job. And that opportunity, which I thought was fantastic, and it ended up not only that I lost the contract, but I also lost 20,000 euro that year. I had some debt from studies already, and my debt was about double already. Broke and without confidence, I continued to work with different projects, different jobs, but I never got a similar opportunity like that one. I still managed to work though. All the years I still managed to work. However, only for 1 or 2 years I was working before the gambling ruined the job, or I just quit, or I was basically fired from the jobs I had. So I constantly found a new job every 1 to 2 years. Also, I have this mentality thing that after only a year or two, I get bored of all the jobs I have. When I know everything what I need to do, I get so bored that I have to quit eventually anyway. But the worst thing, of course, was the gambling part all these years. Basically, I was working every day and gambling every evening and far into the night, very frequently. I've also never been able to save anything ever, more or less every single month for 15 years. The bank account was always empty or close to empty when I received my new salary. So those who say that you're running away from something because you're in pain, because psychological stand-up teachings, that's why you start playing and you can't stop, they might say, is complete nonsense. To become a gambling addict, what happens usually is that it comes out of the blue. You can be happy, down, depressed, or with a fantastic, successful life. What is true though, is that those who really get hooked and usually are usually more extreme than most people and get easily obsessed by games or all things. You get easily obsessed by things. I get back to this and explain how I analyze myself. If the videos I post is of any interest to people out there. Personally, I got first addicted to poker, from poker to slots and roulette. In addition, I was also addicted to the game Magic the Gathering, a card game. Well, this is a version of my story as a gambling addict. I'll return with more videos about losing a friend to alcohol addiction and the true pain of gambling. But I explain a bit. When I was in really bad shape, I couldn't actually walk past a single casino. I was drawn to the casino like it was a magnet so strong you can't do anything else than to go in there and play. At one point, I thought I would end up crazy and I'd end up in a mental hospital. I saw the number 666 every single time I played the slots. I was even holding the mattress in my bed in the morning, telling myself, I can't go out. I must stay here and not move. Again and again and again I told myself, stay here and don't move. Desperately trying not to go out. This is how addicted I was. And I started talking to the slots like they were human beings. Definitely signs of mental problems. Even thinking of the devil trying to destroy me. All these things. You really feel like you're trapped into a dark hole with massive walls around you, unbreakable, invisible walls, and you cannot escape from this invisible prison. It's basically like hell on earth. The worst with addiction for me was definitely the slots. I could sit there for 20 hours straight, maybe more. I sat there like in some kind of trance for hours and hours until I was broke and walked home with nothing. Very rarely I came home with a win. Back home, my hands was shaking after massive losses, the nerves starting to get on you. Then I slept a few hours, woke up, and said to myself, never ever again. After a couple of hours, I was back in the casinos. Everything repeated itself until I was completely broke, which was almost like a relief. At least I couldn't play for a while until I got the next salary, or if I could borrow some money for someone else. Like most gamblers, I owed every party I knew money. Maybe not massive amounts, but I owe everybody money. Everybody close. I'll return to more details if it's interest out there. The next video is about what I really wish to share, and that's how I managed to quit. How could I change from being an extreme addict to just quit? And now look back on it and think, how could I have been so stupid? It was so obvious that I should have quit a long time ago, but why didn't I quit before? Anyway, my next video are my first advice, and it's clearly most important one.